Bonnie's Auto Supply, you can do it. We can help. EBS Building Supplies, your building project.
Mike Easler, the hitter. Jim Rice in left. Rich Gedman catching. Jackie Gutierrez at short. And Steve Lyons in center field. The Yankee lineup we had is not going to be exactly the same way as what probably is printed. It's Willie Randolph leading off and playing second base. Don Mattingly will be at first. Dave Winfield in right. You know those are happening. Ken Griffey slated for center field. Dan Pasqua was to have been in left, but Billy Sample will be playing there. Don Baylor, the designated hitter. And the third baseman will be Andre Robertson. Don't know where he's hitting in the lineup yet, but it will be there instead of Pagliarulo. Butch Weiniger catching and Bobby Meacham at shortstop. The umpires, Don Denkinger behind the plate. Mike Riley at first base. Drew Coble at second. And Al Clark at third.
Tim Lollar will be the Red Sox starting pitcher of the Yankees.
So now all the
accordingly.
Changing in the lineups right now.
Is the Yankee batting order. Randolph, Mattingly, Winfield, Baylor DH.
Baylor is batting fourth.
Griffey center field. Sample left field. Robertson third base. Weiniger, Meacham.
Okay, we've got him now. Randolph, Mattingly, and Winfield remain in top of the order, and then it'll be Don Baylor, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. Ken Griffey in center field batting fifth. Billy Sample in left field batting sixth, and Andre Robertson, the third baseman, batting seventh. And Weiniger and Meacham wind it up. Out on the mound for New York, Phil Niekro.
Well, that's been a constant, that's for sure. He was scheduled to pitch today. He's going to just come on out and do his thing. Start number 24 for the knuckleballer. Record of 11 wins and 9 losses. Jumped off to another good start this year, and then just kind of has been so-so lately. 4.40 earned run average. This whole Yankee staff as starters have been very consistent, though, as of late, since the Yankees have been so hot. They have had 6 straight starts that has turned into wins for them. 75 base on balls given up for Niekro. He is the only Yankee starter to have more than 100 strikeouts. He has 102, and he also leads the staff in home runs given up with 22.
Well, the announcement on Roger Clemens is not good. It has nothing to. It may have something to do with the sickness last night, but also the main reason he is not pitching this afternoon is the stiffness he experienced in his right shoulder while warming up. We saw him warming up, and then we saw them talking to him, and he sat down. There's a base hit by Marty Barrett to start the ball game. One pitch, and Barrett, who was hitting .279, jumps to over .280. Hard single to left by Marty.
Number 26, Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs has had a rough series. 1 hit in 5 times yesterday. And they took care of him well the other night, too. So he has dropped 5 points in his batting average from .360 to .355. There is a strike to him. 6 home runs, 53 runs driven in for Boggs. Knuckleball hit slowly to first. Mattingly to second. Back to first. They do not get the 3-6-3. The ball goes toward the dugout, bounces back, and Boggs will get second base. It's a fielder's choice. No, he won't get second base. It did not go into the dugout. Yeah, it does. It goes out of the playing area. Boy, what a break on that knuckleball.
I'll say they're going to make some guys hit and chop that thing in the ground all afternoon. Meacham trying to unload hurriedly to get it back to Mattingly. Throws the ball back to the first base dugout side. Marty really going to the inside, trying to maybe mess up that throw from Mattingly. It didn't cause any problem there, though. Although the return throw does get into the camera dugout and allows Boggs to go to second.
Boggs at second with 1 out. Dwight Evans is up, hitting .251, 13 home runs, 43 batted in. He hits a drive deep center field. Griffey back, way back. And there he is, warning track. Boggs tags up and goes to third. And the Red Sox continuing to find the warning track here, and not much more, except for Rich Gedman, of course, 2 nights ago. Boggs at third, 2 outs.
Number 6, Bill Buckner, first base. Number 6.
Bill Buckner is up. He's hit in tough luck in this series, hitting .288, 13 homers, 75 batted in. Yankee lineup just came to us after we got on the air. The rearrangement of same because of the change the Red Sox had to make in their pitching plans. There's a strike to Buckner. A lot of the statistics and notes and everything, as usual, came up late here in Yankee Stadium also. Buckner all the way around on that knuckler. Buckner didn't get the knuckler. Boggs at third, 2 out. It is going foul of first. Phil Niekro still looking for that, or moving toward the 300 victory mark. And he's upstairs to Buckner. This is his 649th career start. One and 1 against the Red Sox this year. They beat him opening day, but he beat them down here. Another foul off the bat of Buckner into a pretty good Sunday crowd here. The weather is pleasant. It's in the 70s. Not as hot and humid as it was Friday night here. They had possible forecast for maybe a little rain later on in the day. It's overcast. Sun was not out at all from mid-morning on. There's an Ephus knuckleball. Ball 3. Make it 2-2.
Take a while to watch this one come from Niekro to the plate. He just did everything he could do except take that little string and tie it on it and pull it back to him.
Yeah, it looks like the Follies floater. Floater's Folly strikes out Buckner. Made that pitch look like it's 85 miles an hour. Buckner strikes out. They leave one, and after a half inning, no score.
Already, we couldn't figure out what was going on. Lollar coming over to the Red Sox early in the year. They couldn't really make up their mind how they wanted to use him as a reliever or as a starter. Well, mind's kind of been made up for him. He has worked all as a starter. This will be his 5th start. A 2-1 record, a 4.43 earned run average. 20 hits given up in 20 1/3 innings of work. Walked 11, struck out 17, and he's given up 4 home runs.
Leading off for the Yankees.
So he's done a good job since coming over to Boston from the White Sox. Whatever they've asked of him, he's been fairly effective and has given them some innings that they ordinarily would not have gotten. Willie Randolph, second baseman, leading off. Here's that shoulder twist again that he got the other night when ball 4 was called. And the Yankees won. Bases loaded walk. Funny bunch of quotes after that game in the papers the next day. Fly ball toward the gap in right center. Here comes Evans, though, in shallow, and Dwight makes the catch. 1 out. Drew Coble, who made the call of ball 4 for the winning run, said, you know, it may have been a strike at anyway. In fact, I really wanted to call it a strike, but the strike just didn't come out. It came out ball 4. And he was taken in a little bit by that twist of Willie Randolph. However, that's all under the bridge, and some more water like it flowed under that bridge yesterday as the Red Sox could not come up with a big hit, and the Yankees won 3-1 behind Guidry, who was not at his best. Don Mattingly, who these days is at his best, takes a ball. Mattingly at 331. Two balls, no strikes. 20 home runs, 96 RBIs for Mattingly. And he's ahead on the count, 3-0. He walks on 4 pitches. Runner at first base, 1 out.
Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield at 280. 18 home runs, 80 RBIs. Hit a big, got the big hit in yesterday's game. A triple, drove in 2. And that was enough to do in Al Nipper, who otherwise, except for 1 inning, pitched a good ball game. Getting them into the 7th and 8th. 1 ball, no strikes. Red Sox left 10 on base yesterday. That has been seemingly a almost solid figure for them since the strike break. 1 ball, one strike. The look of the Yankee lineup a little different with Ricky Henderson out of there. Did not play yesterday either. Down to short, 1 hop. Gutierrez and Barrett, and they turn the double play. That was hit hard enough to turn a double play on equipoise if you wanted to. So that's all for the Yankees in the first. And after 1 inning, no score. Detroit is not yet underway. Rain has come to Tiger Town and has delayed the start of that one. Kansas City at Toronto, and Toronto has jumped out in front with a 2-run homer by George Bell in the first inning, his 22nd of the year. That's Mark Gubicza against Tom Filer in that one at Toronto. Here it's 0-0, and Mike Easler bluffs a bunt and takes the knuckler off the glove of Weiniger for ball 1. Texas at Baltimore, Seattle at Minnesota. Blyleven threw a shutout yesterday. Chicago at Milwaukee, and Oakland at California. A strike to Easler, who's hitting .263. 12 home runs, 49 batted in. Dipping knuckler. 1 ball, 2 strikes. National League, the Pirates lead the Mets 1-0. In the 2nd inning at Pittsburgh, Aguilera against Robinson. 1-2 to Mike Easler. 2-2. Montreal at St. Louis. Andujar going for his 20th today for the Cardinals. Philadelphia, which had 6 home runs in Chicago yesterday, playing at Wrigley against the Cubs today. Easler belts one high toward left center field. Ken Griffey over. And that's 1 out. The Dodgers play at San Francisco. Atlanta's at San Diego for a doubleheader, and Cincinnati is at Houston.
14, Jim Rice. Left field. Number 14.
Jim Rice hitting .265, 19 home runs, 72 batted in. Ball one. Red Sox yesterday afternoon hit some hard shots all over the place and got one run for it. They were hitting them at fielders, and players were making good plays again. The Yankees have really turned in some leather in these last two series against Boston, up there and down here. 2-0 to Jim Rice. Here goes one high and deep to left center field, toward Death Valley and into Death Valley. Home run way back, some 435 or 40 feet. 1-0 Boston. And Dennis A. DeLockery of Wallingford, Connecticut, is another winner in the Boston Globe TV 38 home run sweepstakes.
Number 20 for Jimmy on the long extension. This ball not only hit deep, it's hit very, very high to go along with it. Number 20 for the big man, and only his third since the All-Star break. That's the bad news.
Well, you better put 2 rings around this one, though, because it's to the deepest part of this big ballpark. And there's where it is. It's 411 feet where it went over there, and it cruised another few. Gedman fouls one back. 1-0 Boston on Rice's 20th home run. Rich Gedman, who had 2 homers on Friday night, is hitting .312, 11 home runs, 53 batted in. It's to left field, and Billy Sample for the second out. Well, that home run was hit into DiMaggioville. And Joe could hit him out there. Greenberg in the old ballpark when it was 457 to that wall. You imagine that, and you imagine putting one over it.
Oh, I tell you, it's a couple blocks down Fifth Avenue in a taxi. 457 feet.
Jackie Gutierrez, third base, and a fair ball. Robertson gets him. It stayed in fair enough, although Robertson was in foul ground himself. 1 run on the Rice homer, and after an inning and a half, 1-0 Boston.
Schedule will be the Red Sox and the Texas Rangers this coming Wednesday night at 7:30. Then Sunday afternoon, the Red Sox take on the Minnesota Twins at 2. These games over most of these stations, so check your local listings.
Don Baylor starting it off. Baylor with 19 homers, 75 runs driven in. .236 average for the DH, but very, very dangerous. Tim Lollar on the mound, foul back. One ball, 2 strikes. Red Sox leading 1-0 the second inning. Baylor cracks a foul.
Baylor from time to time over his career has been known to stick a left shoulder in front of a pitch or two. Happened to him twice yesterday. As a matter of fact, John McNamara and Al Nipper quite upset about the fact that he made no attempt to get out of the way, but they lost.
2-2 the count. They really have just about lost everything in these games down here so far. They're looking for their first win today in this series, and their second win in Yankee Stadium this year. Or their third, rather. They won 2 in April.
I said from time to time Baylor gets hit. He's been hit 19 times already this year, and he's just 5 shy of tying an American League season record. that lately has been held by Bill Freehand.
Spoils another one back to the screen. Three and two. He takes a walk to lead it off in the second. Second walk given up by Tim Lollar. I want to remind you that for our NESN subscribers, we'll be on tomorrow afternoon as the Red Sox play the final game of the Yankees this year. And game time on NESN tomorrow will be 1 o'clock. Ken Griffey, the hitter, batting in the number 5 slot. 278, 6 homers, 51 runs driven in. There's foul, strike 1. Strike 2. Good fastball by Tim. Pirates are leading the Mets 1-0. Third inning. Mets a big story down here now. Papers giving more coverage to the New York Mets than to the Yankees, really. They had a fans poll about who was your favorite team in New York, and the Mets won over the Yankees. Their favorite players on each team were Hernandez, Keith Hernandez of the Mets, first baseman, and Don Mattingly, first baseman for the Yankees. One ball, 2 strikes to Griffey.
Isn't it funny that both of them be the first basemen that they are and the kind of hitters that they are, but they've having the kind of years that when their ball club has needed a base hit, whether it be in the 8th, 9th inning or extra innings, they get it no matter what kind of base hit it is. If it's a round tripper, they get that.
Yep.
Both of them have had really the kind of the identical years in that department. I guess that's enough to sway your likes over from one man to another.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and a 2-2 count.
Matter of fact, this last week here, Hernandez making an out in the 9th inning with a game on the line made headlines. I mean, it wasn't.
Almost had to sit him down.
Yeah. I guess they expect the man to be a little superhuman. As a matter of fact, they got all over Gooden because he didn't win a game the other day when he started.
A lot of coverage on that game. Went 5 innings. Line drive, base hit toward the gap in left center field. Steve Lyons with it, throws to second base. Ball gets by Barrett, backed up by Buckner, and 2 Yankees are on. Griffey with a line drive, base hit to left center, sending Baylor easily to third.
Griffey's kind of crosses him up a little bit. Lyons pulled over into right center field. It's going to be a long run for him to get over there to cut this ball off. Nothing he can do to prevent Baylor from going to third base. One thing, because Baylor could determine quickly that the ball could not be handled by Lyons from where he had to come. Buckner backing up the overthrow. No damage caused there.
Lollar in a mess here with runners at first and third with nobody out. And Billy Sample just put in the game at the start of things with a new lineup coming out to the umpires at home plate. Put in left field when they learned that Roger Clemens was not pitching and the left-hander was. Griffey at first base. Sample, the batter. It's been a good 4th, 5th outfielder for New York. Infield, double play depth. Strike 1. and foul, strike 2. 0-2 to Sample. Red Sox leading 1-0 in the second inning on Jim Rice's 20th home run of the year. Yankees threatening right here. Down to the left side. Boggs will bluff home and get one. Ball hit slowly. Boggs took a look at the runner going home. Baylor held there, did not go to second. He went straight over to first base, and it's tied up 1-1.
Simple indecision. That ball got to Boggs. He didn't know which way to go with it. He never thought about going to second, possibly. If you're not going to go to the plate, you may as well knock the leadoff guy down. He looks there. Too late. Now just goes right to first. And they'll just take the play there at first to get the one out on Sample. Run scoring.
Looked like he had a play there at second base on Griffey, but he did not take it. So it's 1-1. And a runner at second. One out. Andre Robertson, third baseman, up. 364 in relatively few times at bat. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. An erstwhile shortstop who, after his injury, saw Bobby Meacham come into play last year. And they tried Robertson at third, and they really like what they have seen of him as the right-handed hitting third baseman, and Pagliarulo as the left-hander. Chop to shortstop. Gutierrez. So they will hold Griffey there anyway, and there are 2 outs. And it seems that really Dale Berra's kind of in limbo at third.
Catcher, number 27.
Butch Weiniger is the batter. Switch hitting catcher. Hitting .230, 4 home runs, 27 batted in. Ball 1. A 2-0 count to Butch. 2 out, 1 run in, runner at second. Game tied at 1. Breaking ball for a strike. Barrett creeping behind down into second base, but no play. Ken Griffey at second. A 3-1 count.
Meacham can still not hit right-handed, so they may be just being very careful of Weiniger.
Boggs at third, making the play and ending the inning. Yankees get 1, and they leave 1. After 2 innings, it's tied up 1-1. In the top of the third in this tie game, the Red Sox will have number 9 hitter Steve Lyons leading off against Phil Niekro. Yankees have manufactured their run, and the Red Sox just blitzed for theirs. The home run by Rice.
Steve Lyons, center field, number 12.
Lyons at .276, 4 home runs, 21 batted in. bluffs that bunt and takes ball one, bringing Robertson in at third. Outfield straight away on Lyons. One ball, one strike.
It looks like now as we go into the third inning, it's going to be a pretty good afternoon for Niekro and his knuckleball. He's got that thing dancing pretty good. Usually by now you can pretty good judge of it.
Ball two. Can't really tell how the wind is blowing. The flags are every which way on top of the stadium out there, but when we were down there it seemed to be blowing in, which not usually is good for a knuckleballer as blowing out, but this thing is doing some mighty fine stuff coming up there. 2-2 to Lyons. Three and two now. Niekro with 295 career wins. So with the avoidance of a long strike, the possibility for 300 certainly exists for him this year, as it does maybe for Don Sutton. There's ball four. Didn't miss by much, but Lyons knew it right away, and he's on. First walk given up by Niekro. Marty Barrett opened the game with a single on the first pitch in the first inning, but he was forced at second base by Boggs.
Here's where Butch Weiniger really earns his money now. You got a fairly speedy man on at first, a long way to that backstop, so you have to worry.
To shortstop, a nice play by Meacham, and they turn the double play. Meacham to Randolph to Mattingly quickly.
I wonder why they got Meacham in that lineup, even though that wrist is still bothering him. This ought to tell you right here. He starts that double play when it looked like they were only going to be able to get just the force play, and that was in a little bit of doubt with Lyons running. Meacham gets rid of that ball so quickly, unloads, and then Randolph in the middle does the same, and they double up the Red Sox. Wow.
Very, very nifty double play. Wade Boggs grounded into a force play his first time up. He is at 354, and George Brett of Kansas City started the day at 354. I don't know what he's done his first time at bat or two up there in Toronto. Toronto Blue Jays leading by a 2-0 score. Down it goes easily to Randolph. Stays right down there with it. Throws out Boggs, who's having a rough series. He's 0 for 2 now. The Red Sox down quickly in the third, and after 2.5, it's 1-1. Part of that double play a moment ago will lead off for New York. Meacham, and then the top of the order, Randolph and Mattingly. Game tied 1-1. Meacham bluffing the bunt. 0-1. Meacham hitting at 228. No homers, 35 runs driven in. 0-2.
Isn't it funny? I just mentioned Meacham said he told me himself today right by the batting cage. I asked him, I said, can you hit right-handed now? No, I still got to hit left-handed. So here he is.
So much for pregame information. Right. Some days from the horse's mouth. Fouling it back. He did bat left-handed all the time they were up in Boston because of that injury. Protecting it. Now he turns around to bat right-handed.
Like it's hurting, man, especially after that swing there. He immediately grabbed that left wrist. It seems to be tender even right now.
Goes for what would have been a ball and strikes out. So Meacham, the first strikeout victim for Tim Lollar.
Willie Randolph.
Willie Randolph flied to Dwight Evans in the first. Toronto now leading Kansas City 5-0 after 4. Blue Jays just 5 in front of the Yankees. People thought, well, here they go again. Getting a little tight and tense up there, but today at least they've started out well against Kansas City. The Royals had beaten them twice. 1 strike to Willie Randolph. One ball, 1 strike. American League East in kind of a 2-horse race right now. The way things stand, the Yankees trying to chase Toronto, putting the pressure on them with guys like Martin and Piniella to guide them. They've been in this before. 2-1. Now a 3-1 count to Randolph. Full 3-2. Of course, the Toronto team this year is stronger than what they had last year. And last year gave them a little taste for a while of being in it, as they had come within 3.5 games once of the Tigers in midsummer, only to fall back. There's ball 4. Randolph is on, and so far it has been a walk-in inning given up by Tim Lollar. Don Mattingly drew a walk his first time up. Yankees 1, Red Sox 1, 3rd inning. Randolph at first, 1 out. Shortstop Gutierrez. There's one play there to Barrett. Kind of an off-balance play all the way around, but Jackie wanted to make sure he had the ball before he tossed wildly. Mattingly forces Randolph.
Well, if we're going to force Jackie deep and then a little bit to his right, that ball kind of semi-line drive. Then that one hop, Jackie was, I think, maybe a little cautious of that ball bouncing over him, losing his balance, and they can only get the one. As Marty just realizes that and makes himself almost a first baseman.
2 down, and Dave Winfield at the plate. Winfield grounded hard into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. Some managers in the American League. Ooh, that hurt, huh?
A little disgusted with himself, I think, for going for that ball up out of the strike zone.
Little check swing foul there. Managers were asked who they thought the best player in the American League was right now. This man was voted for by John McNamara of Boston. Dave Winfield, he said, he does so many things. Pops this one up. Boggs waves everybody away, and Wade takes it for the final out. No runs and 1 left. And after 3, it's the Yankees 1, the Red Sox 1.
It blows the lid off the Capitol. From foreign affairs to affairs closer to home, Washington Behind Closed Doors is on every night except Wednesday night at 8 on the Movie Loft here on WSBK TV 38.
Saturday, August 24th will be Red Sox Sports Bag Day at Fenway when the Red Sox host the Minnesota Twins. First 14,000 youngsters 14 and under will receive this multi-purpose bag. For tickets and information, call 267-1700 or visit the ticket office at Fenway Park. This game will start at 3:20 instead of the usual 2:05. Tie game going into the 4th inning, and Bob Montgomery.
Dwight Evans, one of the Red Sox batters who've had more base hits than anybody else against Yankee pitching this year, to lead it off here, and sent Griffey right back to the edge of the warning track, some 408-9 feet away. His first time up today. Ooh, tough knuckleball there as it's on the plate and then inside for strike one. Evans against Yankee pitching this year, 14 for 44 now. Some Red Sox players with perhaps a better average, but not with more hits against them. Even in his couple of times the other night when he made outs, hit the ball hard. 0-2 here quickly, though, as Niekro's got the dancer working today. Actually, it's been a long comeback for Evans all year, from getting that average back up near that 250 mark. You at one time would wonder if that were even possible. Well, he has done it. To get that average back to the 251 mark where he started today, Dwight has hit 299 in his last 53 games. That's to bring it up 51 points from the 200 mark, which he had dropped to, and a couple of times was below that point. Robertson at third with the play. Evans is out, number one.
First baseman, Bill Buckner.
Robertson covering ground very nicely out there at third base, having made the transition from short to third nicely.
Today did not know he was playing until, well, actually till they exchanged lineup cards at the plate, and you saw some shuffling around in that Yankee dugout to get Sample and Robertson in the lineup. Here's Buckner. He struck out against Niekro to end the first inning. Buckner would be the kind of hitter that would give a Niekro a little trouble. He'll spread out a little bit more and be a little more patient with you at the plate. Plus, he'll play the ball all around the ballpark. Those knuckleballers like those big free swingers that won't give in or won't take anything back and give it back to you. Although Rice got him with a long homer, they're counting for the only Red Sox run. Knuckleballers do not like those guys who choke up on the bat and spread out at the plate. Unless you happen to be a Hoyt Wilhelm, or on days, I'm sure Niekro's had days he didn't care if you come up there with a boat paddle. He was going to get you out because he would dance it so much. And today, from time to time, and I would have to say more time than not, that's the kind of knuckleball he has shown us this afternoon. A lot of movement on it. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now the count to Buckner. Only guys you really pity that have any dealings at all with Niekro are the guys that have to warm him up before the game. Once you get into a game as a catcher and you're handling the knuckleball, the mental part, the instincts kind of take over. When you're warming a guy up like that and it's dancing all over the place, you're fighting. Buckner hits it to the right side, and Mattingly will there. And he'll play alone, 2 down. Needless to say, that right side of that Yankee infield is a little tough to drive a base hit through.
You got to get it over those people.
You better put some real sting on it and place it well, that's for sure. 2 down quickly in the Red Sox 4th, and that'll bring up Mike Easler. Easler out on a fly ball as center, leading off the 2nd inning. Boston 1, New York 1. We play in the top of the 4th inning. Ned mentioned earlier that today makes career start number 649 or 650, is it, for Niekro, whichever. This one hit well to left center field. Sample going back deep. He'll have the catch very near the warning track, just in front of the 411 mark, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Red Sox in the top of the 4th. After 3.5 from the stadium, Boston 1, New York 1.
station identification, and this is the TV 30.
1-1 the score as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Baylor, Griffey, and Sample all due up to face left-hander Tim Lollar, the late announced starter, as Roger Clemens could not get it up today. Foul ball, strike one off the bat of Baylor. Roger had stood alongside Lollar in the Red Sox bullpen. Actually, Lollar had stood alongside Clemens, both warming up. Down and in to Baylor. Big swing and a miss there. 0-2. Clemens, as announced, had problems with the shoulder again. Of course, in his last start against these New York Yankees, he had to leave the game with fatigue. And I don't know, that just seems to be a recurring thing. It might not just be better off just to let him go the rest of the summer, maybe, and just not start. I'm not so sure if that would be the right thing to do one way or the other. It's so hard to tell.
It's hard to. Well, that's what they did last year when they hurt himself in Cleveland. They just set him down for the rest of the year, thinking this year was going to be different. Everything would go. But now it's a whole different bunch of things that have gone wrong with him, particularly, and most serious, the shoulder. And consistently, too. That's the thing that has to bother you a little bit. The fact that it's not one time that it's all right or two times it's all right. It's almost every time. Low and inside to Baylor. That ball almost hit him in the foot there. And it's 2-2. Well, Roger in quite a bit of disgust today as he sat down after he had to talk with McNamara. John McNamara was in the bullpen with him, and they were having a discussion. And I'm sure that the concern, of course, is not to have anything happen to Roger that's going to damage his chances for a good, strong career as a professional pitcher. That's certainly the utmost in their minds right now. Winning one more ball game or losing one more is not that much of a preference over his arm. Off speed, low and outside, and it's a full count now to Don Baylor. 3-2. Two times this year he has warmed up before a game and has had to sit down. Once in Anaheim and now today. It's disturbing.
The payoff inside, just inside for ball 4. So Lollar keeps his string alive. He's walked 4, 1 in each of the first 4 innings. Center fielder Ken Griffey will be the hitter. He's single to left. That kind of set up the Yankee run in the second inning after the walk to Baylor, pushing Baylor right around the third, and then he scored on an infield ground out by Billy Sample. Griffey kind of hangs tough on the left-hander. He won't give you much ground up there, and consequently you have to pitch him accordingly. You have to keep him a little bit honest by breezing him inside on occasion. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8 games. Pops this one up into left center field. Rice coming on. Lyons over. Now Rice will have the catch, and it's 1 down.
Left fielder, Billy Sample.
Yankee left fielder on this Sunday afternoon, Billy Sample, steps in. Drove in his 10th run of the year with that bouncing ball to Boggs in the second inning. Yankees won, Red Sox won, bottom of the 4th inning. Nubs this one back toward the mound. Lollar quickly to play to Buckner. High throw, but Buck holds the bag, and they get Sample on a very close play at first. 2 down.
Third baseman, Andre Robertson.
Getting into some dangerous territory for a first baseman.
Lollar had to make a very hard, strong throw because of Sample still having some speed. He has the advantage of being able to turn as a left-hander, and he fires it to Buckner. Just got the turn on the bag before Sample got there.
Baylor goes to second on the play as Robertson takes a strike call on the outside corner. Andre bounced out. to short his first time up. Buckner not only had to worry about some arms on that play over there, but some feet. Trying to hold the bag and take the throw all at the same time. That throw almost getting him into the running line of Sample. Through the middle into center field. Baylor digging around third. The throw from Lyons will not be made. Lyons took one quick look to the plate, checked on Baylor, says I've got no play, and throws it back into the middle of the infield, and the Yankees take the lead 2-1.
Another 0-2 mistake by a Red Sox pitcher made it just too good for an 0-2 count, and the ball was taken care of nicely by Robertson, hammering into center field on the ground for the go-ahead run, and Baylor going in there, and he was not challenged by Lyons.
So Robertson, the late starter, picks up his 12th run driven in, and Butch Weiniger will be the hitter. Baylor almost lost his stride as he rounded the bag at third, and he just caught the corner of that bag with almost with the arch of his left foot. Looked like it had broken his timing a little. Low and inside to Weiniger, 1-1. Hit hard, pass Boggs. A touch by a fan down the left field line. That ball was probably going to get into the corner. I don't think there's much doubt about it getting into the corner. Some fan reached over and grabbed it, and Weiniger will be awarded the fan interference double.
Butch just turned. He clears it out nicely. That inside pitch. Boggs with the dive, can't come up with it. And right down there is where a fan has it in the glove and then bounces out. And they give him a ground rule double. Runners at second and third.
2 outs and trouble still in the holding for Lollar. 1 run in for the Yankees. They lead 2-1. Here's the shortstop, Bobby Meacham. They struck him out the first time. Bobby having a little trouble swinging from that right side as that injured left wrist still bothering a bit. Bruce Keeson now is throwing in the Red Sox bullpen. Chops it foul as Robertson all the way to the backstop. 1-1. Red Sox outfield fairly shallow in right. Lyons a little straight away, pretty much straight away, and shallow in center. Good fastball from Lollar there to the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Meacham can't quite get to that good fastball of Lollar because of that aggravated left wrist. That's been hurting him for quite some time. That happened back in July when Odubin McDowell slid into him on a tag play at second. Robertson, the runner at third, with Weiniger at second, 2 down. Fly ball, shallow left center field. Lyons waving everyone away. Underneath and has the catch. The Yankees get 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. On 2 hits, they lead 2. And at the end of 4, the Yankees lead Boston 2-1. Mr. Niekro now touched up with a lead here as we go to that 5th inning. The man that touched him up for the Red Sox run, Jim Rice, to lead it off.
And it was quite a touch. A mammoth home run to left center, his 20th of the year. Other than that, there have been a couple of long shots by Red Sox hitters, but all been of warning track length. Fouls it back, does Rice. Strike 1. Toronto now has increased its lead to 7-2 now over Kansas City up there. It was 5-0 and then 5-2 and now 7-2. Seattle leading Minnesota 2-0. 3rd inning at the Dome, Metrodome. Cal McRae is homered for Kansas City with 1 on for their 2 runs. Strike 2 to Rice. Gubazar was knocked out. Jones came on in the 3rd for the Royals. Tom Filer, who is 5-0, going for number 6 for Toronto. Niekro to Rice. High. Baltimore 1, Texas 0 after 2.5. Stewart against Boddicker. It's Dave Stewart for Texas. Two and 2 to Jim Rice. Seattle 2, Minnesota 0 second. That's Langston against Viola. And the White Sox and Milwaukee Brewers are scoreless after 2. Britt Burns against Pete Vukovich. Tommy John will go for Oakland this afternoon. At Anaheim, Ron Romanek, 13-6, will go for the Angels. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jim Rice. The Pirates lead the Mets now 4-0. Bill Madlock has hit his 9th and 10th home runs for the Pirates. Make it 5 now. It's 5-0 after 5. Aguilera against Robinson. And here's a team with the worst record in baseball, really giving the Mets trouble in that series at Pittsburgh. Montreal 2, the Cardinals 2. 2nd inning at St. Louis. Butera has homered for Montreal. Hesketh against Andujar. Jim Rice waits out the walk. Second walk given up by Niekro. So Rice is on to start the 5th inning. Gedman comes up. Rich fly to left field in the 2nd. The Phils and Cubs are tied up 1-1 in the 3rd inning at Chicago. Foley has homered for Philadelphia. Fellow they just acquired. Sandberg has hit 1 for the Cubs. Phils have now hit 7 home runs in 2 days there, the last 2 days. Hudson against Lollar. Gedman way off on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rich. Rice at first, nobody out. Yankees leading 2-1 in the 5th. Missing outside, ball 2. Niekro's had 1 no-hitter in his career. Pitched one 12 years ago against the Padres. 12 years ago this month, August. A 9-0 no-hitter. Missing upstairs and outside, ball 3. Billy Martin, Billy Mamboquet. And that's the 2nd walk in a row given up by Niekro. Now the Red Sox have runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Rice at second, Gedman at first with walks. And Niekro will face Jackie Gutierrez. Look at Stick Michael, third base coach and director from the dugout of positioning when the team is in the field. Andre Robertson over to talk to Niekro.
Niekro would not be the easiest person in the world to sacrifice bunting against either. You're trying to follow that dancing ball around with the head of that bat. Easily to pop the knuckleballer up.
Right.
As he comes to the plate with you.
Well, they're looking for it, of course. Robertson is squared outward at third, as you see, toward the pitcher. Jackie does drop the bunt, though. The throw will go to first in time as Randolph covers. And Jackie Gutierrez does a nice job of killing that ball enough to get the runners over. Runners at second and third, one out. Play going 1-4 on the sacrifice.
He did do a nice job of it, really, and he had a ball that did not dance very much on him to bunt. Jackie, though, most of the time this year when he's been asked, I can only remember maybe one time he didn't get the job done. So he had a pretty good man at the right time there to get the job done and moving the runners along.
Steve Lyons drew a walk in the third. He's at the plate now with a chance to get the Red Sox even or ahead. One down, runners in scoring position. Strike one. There's a dandy.
Said that one working a lot today from the center field shot. That almost looks like the big curve, a sweeping kind of curveball. And I would think it'd be easy for a hitter, especially a left-handed hitter, to give up on that pitch maybe a little bit too soon.
That had a little bit more on it. 0-2 now. Boy, it's something to watch somebody like that work.
Well, it is when you're up here. It's not when you're standing down there with that bat.
It's a little frustrating when you're at the bat.
You're not kidding.
Infield is in. At least Randolph's on the edge of the grass and the rest coming in, and a strike three. So that's the one that Niekro wanted and got his second strikeout.
The last two knucklers, the hardest ones we've seen him throw today, and I think he's definitely looking for the strikeout there. Not much doubt about it. He wants to keep that ball out of play, and because of that, and with the 2 strikes on line, Martin elected to pull that infield in. They figured he'd be chopping the ball around a little bit, trying to protect the plate a little more. Oh, they didn't even need an infielder. Niekro just hung up his second strikeout.
2 down and runners at second and third. Marty Barrett up, has singled to left and grounded into a double play. Strike one. Drifting way outside, Weiniger off quickly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Very slowly to shortstop, and Meacham with the throw, and they do not score. Well, they got the bunt they wanted, but nothing else. In fact, the Red Sox didn't get the ball out of the infield, and they stranded runners at second and third. After 4.5, 2-1 Yankees. In silent movies against Phil Niekro. Lollar's walks have hurt him He has walked 4, and 2 of those walkers have scored. Strike 1 to Randolph, who has flied to right and walked. Both the same walker, too. Don Baylor walked to start the 2nd and again the 4th, and each time he came around to score. A 1-strike count to Randolph. One and one. If you joined us late, Lollar was pressed into duty at the last moment when Roger Clemens could not answer the bell. Had some stiffness in his shoulder warming up. There's a pop-up into shallow right, and Evans coming on. Makes his 2nd put-out on Randolph. 1 away. Don Mattingly has walked and had a fielder's choice. Mattingly's batting .330. He is 0 for 1. Boggs is 0 for 2 today. And we don't know what Brett has done. And Henderson is not playing. Strike 1 to Mattingly. Nothing in 2. And a 1-2 count. Yankees have 2 runs and 3 hits. They've made an error. The Red Sox 1 run and 2 hits. No errors. Lifted out of play. Still a 1-2 count to Don Mattingly. Teams will wind up this seemingly endless series tomorrow afternoon. Marty Bystrom will go for the Yankees against Bruce Hurst. Right down to Marty Barrett. Mattingly is out. With 2 gone and none on in the Yankee 5th, it's Dave Winfield up. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play and popped to 3rd. Now the managers asked, and we mentioned before that John McNamara of the Red Sox had said this man is, to his mind, is the most valuable player or the best player in the American League this year. A couple of them went for George Brett, including Sparky Anderson. Dick Hauser, who has Brett, of course. Can't argue with either of those. One ball, 2 strikes. McNamara's reasoning in the paper was that this Winfield just does so many things to beat you, and that he plays at the top of his game every moment he's out in the field. It does. He never lets up, bearing down all the time. Tough pitch inside for a ball. 2-2. You hit with power, run, field, and throw the ball. 3-2. Full count from Tim Lollar to Dave Winfield with 2 outs in the 5th, and the Yankees leading 2-1. And he struck him out. Reaching. Winfield strikes out, and Lollar has his first 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 5, it's the Yankees 2 and the Red Sox 1. Off for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. Yankees leading 2-1. Well pitched game. Niekro and Lollar. Boggs is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice grounder and grounded out to second. He is 1 for 11 in this series. Ball 1. Kansas City Royals added a run, but they still trail in the game at Toronto. Blue Jays leading it 7-3 in the 5th inning. McRae is homered for Kansas City, and George Bell, number 22 for Toronto. 2-0 to Boggs. Niekro has allowed only 2 hits. Fly ball. And over for Ken Griffey for out number 1. Phillies lead the Cubs 2-1 now in the 4th inning at Wrigley. And they've added another home run. Foley hit one. Now Mike Schmidt, who had one yesterday, and has 22 on the season. He has surged in the last month. He hit one. He now, I think, has something like 42 homers career-wise at Wrigley Field. Sandberg is homered for the Cubs in that one. Dwight Evans. Ball 1. Pirates taking it to the Mets 5-0 after 6. Madlock's had a pair of homers. Little fly ball dumped into right center for a base hit for Evans. That time the Red Sox got a few of those flares that the Yankees have been getting. Evans is on with his first hit of the afternoon. He hit one 400 feet almost in the 1st inning and was out. Here it just goes over the infield. That's the 3rd hit. Bill Buckner has struck out and grounded out. And he loops one to left center and left field, actually. Billy Sample with the catch. 2 gone.
Designated hitter, Mike Easler.
Mike Easler. Fly to center and deep to left. Yankees have 2 runs and 3 hits. The Red Sox have 1 run and 3 hits. The Yankees have made an error. The Red Sox run coming on a homer by Rice. The Yankees scoring in 2 separate innings, and each time the runs scored by Don Baylor, who on each occasion had walked. Ball 1. Two and nothing. Evans at first, 2 out. And a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mike lofts it foul, left side, out of play, making it 2-2.
Mister, would you tell me by the batting cage today as we were standing there looking out toward left center field and center field, right center field?
It looks depressing, really, for a batter. We're watching these Yankee hitters get pretty good balls to hit and whack the heck out of it, and they're caught out there.
I would imagine this ballpark has changed a lot of would-be home run hitters into line drive thinkers.
Better do it, unless you are somebody like a Baylor or a Winfield. Boy, that's a long way out there from the plate. 3-2, and it was longer beforehand. It was longer last year, and the old park was even longer than that. Kansas City's picked up 4 runs, and now it's 7-6 Toronto, and the fans are watching them very carefully here at Yankee Stadium these days, watching the Toronto scores. They take Evans off, and it's a strikeout. Easler down on strikes. That's the third for Niekro. The Red Sox get a hit, and they leave 1. And after 5.5, they trail 2-1. Started, Monty.
Somehow, you got to figure out something to work against Niekro. So far, they have not been able to do it this afternoon. Hit the ball hard on a number of occasions, but as they did yesterday afternoon, didn't wind up with anything to show for it, and they haven't today either. One thing these Yankees have done, they've gotten themselves, mostly with their starters as of late, into that Fisher-Rigetti kind of situation in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and Fisher just consistently is getting better and better. Good bit of work for him yesterday afternoon, and he's starting to get rid of some of those young fellow type of mistakes, the 0-2 mistakes, the 1-ball and 2-strike mistakes. And they get him all set and pair him up with Rigetti out of there consistently, maybe the end of this year. They're going to have a little fun for themselves. There's Mike Pagliarulo. He's in there defensively at third now, as Rice will lead it off for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rice, Gedman, and Gutierrez, the schedule hitters. Jimmy hit his 20th home run in the 2nd inning to give the Red Sox their 1 run. Went back over and looked quickly. The solo home runs that the Red Sox have hit this year will astound you. Kind of a change your mind swing there. Rice couldn't do anything about it. They've hit 106 home runs. 67 of those have come with no one on. Not much the hitters can do about that, but that's just the way it's happened.
That really kind of ruins production for a while, doesn't it? I mean, it gets a run here and there, but I mean, what about the situations when 2 are on?
Nothing. Knuckleball dances low to Rice. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Matter of fact, Rice, I don't know how you break it down percentage wise. Of Rice's 20 now, 13 of his have been solos, but the biggest one has been the difference in Armas. Armas has the 16 home runs, I think it is now. 16 of his 16, 12 have been solos. Another look at that Rice foul ball on the knuckleball. That ball looked like it stayed up in a hittable area for Jimmy there. It didn't really sink that much, a dart, but it was kind of moving away from him a little bit, and he could only foul it. 2-2 to count. Rice will have another shot at a 3-2 count. He was 3-2 the last time he was up there and wound up with a walk. Niekro today's walked 3, which is, I would have to say, a very good number for any knuckleballer to walk 3 or no more. Actually, maybe 4 wouldn't even be bad for him. And that's his 4th there, as Rice will have the walk. Of course, you might say, well, with a 1-run lead, 4 is a lot of walks, but
not the way that kind of ball moves.
I would have to say that it isn't. He can't do anything about the offense as far as getting a run or 2 here or there, but Lollar has been taking care of that himself, and he's walked 5 and given up just the 2 runs. So the Red Sox with the leadoff man on here in the top of the 7th inning, trying to get something working. The Yankees will get something working in their bullpen. Looks like Rich Bordy is throwing there now. There's the strike over to Gedman. I would look for the Yankees and the Toronto Ball Club both. If things stay like they are, and I'm sure Toronto's going to do it anyway, as long as they can stay up there. The Yankees stay this close within another, I'd say maybe a week or 10 days. You're going to see some people trading uniforms. Yankees would very much like to have maybe another middle guy in that bullpen. They've got a couple of guys down there they do not use. And Bordy, they only use occasionally. That's the right-hander. The left-hander is Bob Shirley in your picture. They have not used Armstrong since he's come back from Columbus. Knuckleball dances and does not get the strike zone this time to Gedman. 2-1.
Of course, you can't convince the Red Sox, or the ones we've seen him, that Bordy has not been effective for this team, because he helped them during a stretch there. He came up when other people were failing out there and did a good job.
Another gentleman they've signed, Allen, they've used him but one time since they picked him up. I don't know that they're trying to hide him from anybody necessarily. Not to spring them on you late in the year. They just haven't used them.
That's a pretty good arm to keep out there in mothballs, so I don't know if you can pitch or not, but he did one time.
3 balls, 1 strike to count to Gedman with Jackie on deck. Getty fouls it away, and it's a 3-2 count here to a Red Sox batter in the 7th inning. Red Sox hitters seem to have gotten a little more patient as we got to the middle of the game as hitters. They're taking a few more pitches. The ball's just about the same, being delivered the same way by Niekro. Certainly is not cut down on into the dancing of it. Rice takes off, and it's ball 4. So the Red Sox in the 5th had the same kind of situation. The first 2 men getting on by walks, Rice and Gedman, but they couldn't do anything about it there.
At that point, Jackie Gutierrez laid down a perfect sacrifice, and things looked good, but they stayed there.
Well, I'm quite sure he's going to be asked to do the very same thing again. The Yankees are certainly thinking that way. Pagliarulo going through the signs as he leaves the mound now. That's to the rest of his infielders. That'll tell them where their coverage is going to be, and I would imagine they'll pretty much play it straight. I don't know that Billy's too much in for that trickster type of infield coverage on the bunt. Over the years, I've not seen him use it that much, if he is using it at all.
Oakland used to use it a lot, but when he went out there, they stopped using it for a couple of years.
They do have it on this time. Meacham breaking quickly on the way to third. Pagliarulo charging up that third baseline. That ball almost hit Jackie, and now he's going to have a word with Rene Latchman at third. Get the cards out and deal them around. Let's see what happens here again.
Big spot in this ball game, really, for the New York Yankees. And when you're just 5 games out and it's a month and a half to play, you start playing everything as if it's game 7.
Well, that's the way Billy played it in Fenway, really. He was trying to squeeze runs in the middle part of the ball game, latter part of the ball game, and worked for him once in it, got him a run.
That's why he bungled it.
The other 2 times they were messed up.
Didn't matter, though.
Jackie does pop this one up. It'll be playable for Weiniger. And that's out number 1. That's the very thing I was talking about earlier in that bunting situation. That knuckleball sometimes a little hard to get on the ground.
They bluffed the shortstop over this time. Didn't matter, though. It's an easy play for Weiniger in foul ground. And there goes the chance to get the runners over that way. It's about a letter high knuckler, breaking, and very difficult to get down on the ground.
Well, they couldn't get the base hit after the sacrifice last time. Let's see if they don't get the sacrifice, and this time they get the base hit. It'll be up to Lyons to do it here. Runners holding, of course, at first and second, and now 1 down. Boston trailing 2-1. Lyons wouldn't exactly be thinking about a picnic working against the Niekro. He has aggravating kind of at bats against off-speed pitchers as it is anyway. Although with Niekro, he knows he doesn't have to worry too much about the fastball. Maybe he can slow his tempo down to agree with that of Niekro.
Oh,
Big swing there. No contact. 1-1.
what a break on that ball.
Well, the last time Niekro, although he was sitting in a second and third situation here, it's first and second now. He went to a little harder knuckleball looking for the strikeout on Lyons, and he got it. So I would think that he wouldn't be trying to worry about being too soft here. He'll probably stay hard. They do, and Lyons hits it to right field. Rice will be held at third as that ball got to Winfield quickly. Good throw, good strong throw in there. And the Red Sox will have the bases loaded with Marty Barrett, the hitter.
Well, they got the base hit with a runner at second, and it only got him over one base. The ball was streaked out there pretty well. Covered quickly by Winfield. Rice taking the turn, and Latchman holds him up. Here comes a throw from Winfield. He can throw, and you don't want to challenge him if it's any doubt whatsoever. That represents the lead, the tying run there. And Billy Martin is making a move to the bullpen with the top of the order and a contact hitter and Marty Barrett up. He'll go to the bullpen for Rich Bordy. You're watching Red Sox baseball from Yankee Stadium in New York.
Shop in Brewer. Robinson Kenny, the independent little guy, promises all its oil customers the lowest cash price, budget payments, and 8% bonus budget on accounts with credit balances. Taylor Rental Center on Wilson Street has things to rent for every event. Stop by and see everything you'll need at the store for rent, Taylor Rental. The Niekro Market on South Main Street is your friendly convenience store with more, including fine Chevron products. All in Brewer.
Where could you go right now for cash? With Casco Northern's Anytime Money, you can bank anytime, day or night. Get cash for a movie on Friday or eating out on a Saturday. And you can use Anytime Money anywhere in Maine or across the country where you see these symbols. So where could you go right now for cash, day or night? Anywhere in the USA with Anytime Money, only from the bank that's always thinking of ways to help you. Casco Northern Bank.
Searching for great car values? You can strike it rich right here. Yeah. Hi, folks. Clem and Zeke. And we've been looking for gold. But we found something better. Yeah, right here at Northeast Chrysler Plymouth, Isuzu. 4.9% financing. What? 4.9% financing continues. On a huge selection of new cars. Know what that means? Yeah, everybody strikes it rich. Come on down today to Northeast Chrysler Plymouth, Isuzu. Tell them where. At the Bangor Mall. Yeah.
We'll pause here for station identification. This is the TV 38 Red Sox Network.
WLBZ Bangor, W57AQ Callis.
Rich Bordy is the new Yankee pitcher making his second appearance of this series and his third against the Red Sox in the last week. Bordy, 3 wins, 4 losses, 3.08 earned run average. This is his 37th relief appearance. He has 1 save. 64 in the third innings work, giving up 60 hits, 22 earned runs, walking 19 and striking out 40, and has given just 4 home runs in those 64 innings.
Worked in this series the other day. This pretty much the same situation he's working in right here, and is, I'd say, better than good chance that if he can get Barrett out, Martin will come right back and get Shirley into this game to face Wade Boggs. Matter of fact, when Bordy came in here Friday, he faced Marty Barrett. A little different situation. Marty had a 2-ball, no strike count on him. So actually Bordy, who did wind up throwing ball 4 officially to Marty, did not face anybody technically. So the former Cub getting his second look at the Red Sox here in this series in New York. And the Red Sox, with the bases loaded, trying to do something that won't make it very much fun for him to come in there. Niekro leaves. Could be the winner. Could his teammates get him out of this? He's still certainly on the hook. He can also go the other way and be the loser. All 3 men, of course, responsible. The responsibility of Niekro. Barrett 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Rice at third. Gedman at second, and Lyons at first. Wild swing at a breaking ball, strike one. Niekro, 6 1/3 innings of work. He gave the Red Sox 4 hits. Actually kind of scattered those out pretty well too over the afternoon. 1 run so far given up. He walked 5 and he struck out 3. Gave up the 1 home run to Rice. Marty trying to find a gap to slide one in here to get the Red Sox back up on top. Trailing 2-1 with 1 down. Barty inside to Marty. Kind of think, Ned, who was talking about those people changing uniforms, that Marino was a little bit of that tip-off as they put him on waivers here just early Friday for the purpose of giving him his unconditional release. They may have some wheels turning already for a move here or two there. Marty, fly ball left field. Sample has to come on. Has the diving catch. Rice has to go back to third, and everybody will just hold on to that base. Rice was not tagged up at third, else he could have scored on that ball, possibly, as Sample has to go to the ground and may have hurt himself.
Here it is. Ball looked as if we were going to drop in for a base hit. This is the play of the series so far, even the Henderson catch. This saves a run, maybe 2 later on, and Sample has to throw from a kneeling position. If Rice had tagged, he could have gone in. Fine play by Billy Sample in a clutch situation. He seems to be all right now. Trainer went out there, but he's staying in. Talk about a role player.
Well, right there at the right time. As anticipated, Billy Martin right back to the mound, and he's coming to get Bob Shirley now to face Wade Boggs after that fine play by Billy Sample in left. So once again, we'll remind you, you're watching Red Sox baseball from Yankee Stadium.
The heat is on. Search for tomorrow.
I've never needed anyone.
His 25th and his 26th in relief. He has won 3, lost 3, and has a 3 earned run average. No saves. 72 innings pitched, given up 69 hits, 16 walks, 35 RBIs. I mean 35 strikeouts, and another 2-to-1 ratio of strikeouts to walks. And he has given up 3 home run balls. His job is to get Wade Boggs right now to keep the Yankees lead intact at 2-1.
Well, certainly this game should be tied by now. Rice, even though that ball is hit on the line, should have gone back there to tag up. Even if Sample does not make the catch, he is certainly going to be able to score from third. Nothing Sample could have been able to do about getting up and throwing him out on any kind of force play. But the mistake was there. The Red Sox do not tie it, and Shirley's on now to face a left-handed hitting Wade Boggs. 1/3 of an inning work for Bordy this time. He'll get a little more than just an appearance. Shirley coming into the game in the very same situation Friday night facing Boggs, popped him up to left field. That ended the inning. Red Sox did get 1 run in that 7th inning, but that was on the homer by Gedman. Fastball right at the letters from Shirley for strike 1. Shirley, another former National Leaguer that now finds himself in those Yankee pinstripes. Shirley, most of his time in the National League with San Diego. He's been with St. Louis, Cincinnati, and now with the Yankees the last 3 years, this being the 3rd. Breaking ball dropped up high and outside. 1-1 to Wade. Wade on the afternoon has been held in check by Niekro. He's 0 for 3. Couple of ground out, 1 a force play, ground out, and a fly ball to center. Bases loaded for Boston. They trail by 1. Base hit left field. Rice will score. They're waving Gedman to the plate. The throw from Sample. In time. He threw him out. Edman arguing with plate umpire Don Dickinger, but it's not going to do him any good. So Sample, really almost all of the 7th inning here, is taking care of it. The base hit by Boggs will drive in Rice to tie the score. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's 2-2.
All right, here's the way it looked on that throw from Billy Sample. to get Rich Gedman, who's given the wave by Latchman, trying to go ahead in this game. Throw comes in on a hop, and right there, short of the plate, is Gedman's foot. He is tagged out by Weiniger. Here is Sample firing from a different angle. Billy just playing the tar out of left field the last 3 minutes. The one hopper, and a good play by Weiniger getting over there, stopping the foot right there. He's out. Gedman didn't think so, but it is a 2-2 game.
Well, this game, like all the rest of them in this series, actually just eat up with a lot of excitement, certainly as far as Billy Sample is concerned. So Niekro cannot be the loser now. Neither can he be the winner, as that run scored by Rice will be charged to the Yankee starter. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2-2 the score. Weiniger to lead it off against left-hander Tim Lollar. High and outside, ball 1. A full line on Niekro now. The 6 and a third innings of work, 4 hits and 2 runs, 5 walks. He struck out 3, and the 1 homer. Weiniger 1 for 2 on the day. Red Sox out hitting the Yankees 5-3, so neither pitcher has really been touched up for any kind of real slugging other than Rice's home run. High fly ball to left field near the line. Could be trouble for Rice as he gets over there, and it curls into the seats and out of play. Double action in the bullpens. Righetti in the Yankee bullpen and Bob Stanley in the Red Sox bullpen. Bullpens here face way out in left center field and back to back, separated by the Garden of Monuments, they call it out there now. There's Bob Stanley. 2 balls, a strike to Weiniger. Three and 1 now as Lollar works up high and out of the strike zone. Lollar today has struck out 3. He's walked 5. He's had a couple really tough innings for himself in the 2nd and in the 4th through a lot of pitches. Retired them in order in the 5th. All the way through Gedman's leg to the backstop. Weiniger digging hard to first. He'll make a big turn there. And Gedman throws behind him and high. And Weiniger goes to second. That looked to be almost a planned thing as far as Weiniger concerned. But I'll say this. If that throw had been lower, Weiniger would have been out somewhere.
It is definitely a ball 4, and Weiniger sees, hey, that's going a long way. Gedman is late picking it up. It's a long way back there anyway. He takes the big turn, and Rich throws behind. Now that throw is high. If he'd gotten it down, Buckner would have had a play on Weiniger at second. But instead, the Yankees have the lead run at second base. Wild pitch on the walk. And an error charge to Gedman.
So the Red Sox will talk things over around the mound. Actually, Buckner did a good job of keeping that ball out of the outfield. Might have been a possibility of Weiniger going from home all the way to third on a base on balls. Buckner really had to sky to knock that ball down. Of course, he did not have a play anywhere. So now the Red Sox infield will look for the sacrifice as Bobby Meacham is up there. Weiniger at second, nobody out. Meacham pops it up first base side. Buckner can't handle it in the air. Everybody's safe. Buckner had to dive for it and couldn't get there.
Well, they had a chance to pop him up. Ball did not get out far enough for Buckner. Just dives almost into the spikes of Meacham. Can't come up with it. And everybody's safe. The runners hold at second base. There's a dive by Buck. It'll go as a base hit, I'm sure. It does. Bunt single by Meacham, so instead of the sacrifice, he has a hit, and runners are at first and second with nobody out.
Weiniger, of course, had to hold his ground as Buckner had a shot at catching that ball. Actually, looked like Buckner dove by that ball. That ball went between him and the glove. So now the Red Sox infield will be looking for the sacrifice once again, this time from Randolph. Randolph hitting in that #1 position today. 0 for 2 with a walk. Swings away, flies it into center field. Lyons going back. Weininger back to tag now. He tags and bluffs, but he'll hold right there as Lyons gets it in quickly, 1 down. So the runners could not be advanced along for Don Mattingly. And that's surely what Billy Martin would like to have seen. He'd taken a little shot there that maybe that infield would have been moving around a little bit, anticipating that bunt. May have opened something up for Willie, but Willie hit the ball up into the air. 1 down now for Don Mattingly, who's 0 for 2. Lollar's fastball today seems to have had some pretty good pop on it. He's had a little problem with it in the strike zone from time to time. He's now walked 6. Weininger stands at second as the 6th walk, and Meacham at first, 1 down. Mattingly goes for a pitch out of the strike zone, 1-1. Mattingly, along with Winfield, probably the hottest bat swingers on this Yankee club the last, maybe week to 10 days. You might throw Henderson in there with them. Certainly this man has been on a surge. Batting average right now at .330. Ground ball past Buckner into right field. It'll hit off Karam off the pads. Weininger to score run number 3. They're waiting Meacham. The throw from Evans offline. Yankees get 2, and it's 4-2 as Mattingly all the way around to third. A double for Mattingly.
He clears it right down the line, and Buck can't get it on the dive. It goes right down in that no-man territory. Weininger scores easily. The ball heels off the railing, goes back in there for Evans, who makes an off throw to home plate. Way off the mark, easily scoring the second runner, Meacham, and now the Yankees go ahead for 2. It'll go as a double, 2 runs batted in, and to third on the throw for Mattingly. You can't keep him down long.
No, sir. If there's anything as such as being due, he was due right there. And that 2-base hit is going to retire Lollar to the Red Sox dugout and bring on Bob Stanley. So the afternoon of work for Lollar will go like this: 6 1/3 innings of work. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. He walked 6, struck out 3, and of course he is responsible for Mattingly at third. And on comes Bob Stanley.
Well, it's kind of a shame for Lollar because he was pitching well. Things fell off for him this first inning. The walk hurt him again, but the fact that the runner who was caught between first and second, Weininger, on the walk, got to second base, started the inning off badly. Otherwise, he would have been down with a good throw by Gedman. Then they followed with a bunt single by Meacham, the fly ball out, and then a clutch double by Don Mattingly. Now Bob Stanley is on for the 44th time this year. He has won 6, lost 5, has an earned run average of 2.72, 10 saves, 79 in the third innings pitched, 69 hits. He has walked 30, struck out 41, and has given up 5 home runs. And Stanley was the man who came on Friday night in that situation where he walked home the winning run, which of course was charged to Crawford, and then got into that scream at the end with the plate umpire at that time, Drew Coble.
I was a little concerned about that, whether Bobby may have made some body contact with Drew Coble behind the plate, and whether he did or not, I don't know. It's a little hard to tell from here. However, I guess with some of the comments made by Coble after the incident was over, that he was not going to write it up as such. So I thought maybe Bobby may be getting a couple of days off without pay, but looks like now he will not be. Certainly that's always concerned. No player under any circumstances likes to be suspended, whether it be with pay or without pay. It's just not the likable or the nice thing to have done to you. So Stanley responsible here now for holding it right there. One down, Mattingly at third, and the tough guy up there right now, Dave Winfield. RBI number 97 and 98 for Mattingly on the year. Has the 4-2 Yankee lead. Red Sox infield will be drawn in, trying to cut off the extra run here in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking ball to Winfield, strike one. Outfield swung around for Winfield to pull. He's got a gap and a half into right center. Actually, not really in right center. From right, straightaway right field over. Fouls this one away, 0-2. Stanley working that sinker down and in on him. That double by Mattingly also adds on to his lead in that department. Buckner had sneaked into within one. That's the 36th double of the year for Mattingly. We're talking about him and Hernandez getting base hits when they need the most.
Late inning. Yep.
That's the way they do it. Winfield pops it up. Boggs drifting into foul ground now near the dugout. And he has it 2 down. Big out for Stanley to get there.
Designated hitter, Don Baylor.
Little work left for the Red Sox, and Stanley, though, as Don Baylor steps in with 2 down. One thing it will do, that range in an infield will be increased quite a bit. With out number 2, they can back up. Stanley electing to work from the stretch with Mattingly at third. Popped him up into center field. Lyons coming on hard. Jackie back. Now Barrett will have the catch as everybody gives away to the little second baseman. And Stanley does come in and get the job done. However, the Yankees do score a pair on 2 hits. They leave 1. And at the end of 7, New York leads Boston 4-2. For the 7th, they've gone to their hard thrower out of that bullpen. Looking for his 23rd save of the year will be Dave Righetti, as he makes appearance number 55, 8 and 7 on the year. He was the winner in Friday night's game as he worked in relief. A 303 earned run average, 69 hits given up on 77 and a third innings of work. He's walked 33, struck out 66, and he's given up 5 home runs. So Billy Martin again here on Sunday afternoon, pretty much as he did on Friday night, using that bullpen, a pitcher here to a batter there. Same way until I can get it to the hard thrower. And he's setting right now with a 2-run lead to protect and try to save it.
Well, Bob Shirley did work to one batter and gave up a hit to him, but on that hit there was an out. The throw out at home by Billy Sample of what at that time was supposed to have been the go-ahead run for the Red Sox, but it ended the inning. So Bordy and Shirley each pitched to one batter, and now it's Righetti forever, it looks like, in this situation, trying to protect a 2-run lead.
The funny thing is that Shirley, who works the third of an inning, gives up the hit, and the tying run could be the winner.
That's right. Gave up the hit to Wade Boggs. And that knocked in a run, but the Gedman carrying the mail from second base was thrown out at the plate.
44,170. 441.
The attendance today, this Sunday, 44,170.
Brings the 1985 season attendance after 52 openings.
Righetti worked 1 inning on Friday night in the 10-inning win. He got the win, which was his 8th. He walked 1 batter. Mike Easler got the other 3 men he faced. Going against Dwight Evans now. Evans 1 for 3. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Dwight. He looped a single to center field off Niekro in the 6th inning. Foul, strike 2. Niekro charged with both Red Sox runs in the 6 1/3 innings he worked. Yankees leading 4-2, having just gone ahead in the bottom of the 7th. Carved away foul by Evans. Pirates beat the Mets 5-0. That's the final. Calms down things on the other side of the river. Strike 3. Rigetti fans the first man he faces. 1 down in the 8th.
A little hard ball here and some action on that ball, moving down and away from Dwight. Pretty good leg drive there by the big man too. Can't imagine what they would do without him in that bullpen. If they want to move him back to that rotation, they're going to have to do some awful hard searching and hopefully some finding. As far as they're concerned,
they're going to hope that Brian Fisher turns into Goose Gossage. Bill Buckner up 0 for 3. That fastball you just saw that struck Evans out moved from plate to plate, from inside corner to the outside corner just about. Ooh, and a tail on it. Winfield doing some retrieving in right field. That's the cause for the holdup. Buckner has struck out, grounded out, and flied to left. And he rips one to right field. It's hooking foul. What's happening to the Red Sox? When you're going bad, things like that happen. When you're going good, things like, well, you see what the Yanks have done. That ball was crunched by Buck. He's had no luck much at all against these Yankees, up here or up at Fenway or down here. Some hard hit balls. 1-1.
He knew that ball was going to be close too. He stayed right at the plate and looked right down that line at it. He was going to help.
Good.
He was going to help one of those umpires with his call.
He pops this one up left side of the infield to shortstop Bobby Meacham. 2 down. Mike Easler. He's 0 for 3. Flied out to center, flied deep to left, and struck out. Ball 1. And there's a power strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Neil Allen in the bullpen now. There's a base hit by Easler, almost getting Coble out there. The Red Sox live with 2 outs in the 8th, and Rice coming up. First hit off Rigetti, and just the 6th for the Red Sox. Of course, the Yankees only have 5 hits, but they lead by 2. Jim Rice hit a homer in the 2nd, and then walked twice against Niekro. In the 5th and the 7th, he led each inning with a walk, was followed by a walk to Gedman, and in neither inning did either one, or in only one inning did they score a run. Rice finally came around to get a run in the 7th. Bill Monbouquet, with a few more pounds since he pitched in Boston, but back up with the Yankees at the pitching coach, and a lot of us who knew him glad that he's doing so well.
He had one of those double breaking curveballs. It broke once, and then if you didn't like that one, it'd break again, all in the same pitch.
Had a pretty good slider. He was a good rhythm pitcher, and can control. Had a 20-game winning season. with some bad ball clubs. Jim Rice hammers away, and it's strike one. Toronto 10, Kansas City 6 now, 8th inning. So the Blue Jays felt the hot breath, and then they decided to do something about it. Strike two. Oh, and 2 to Rice. Fouling off the fastball. Righetti just coming with hot fire. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him. Struck him out. 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees leading 4-2. Today 5-0. A 5-hitter for Don Robinson with help from Clements in relief. That was an 8-game losing streak for Robinson. Snapped after he'd won his first 3 decisions. Aguilera was the loser. Bill Madlock had a pair of home runs. Montreal 4, the Cardinals 3 in the 7th at St. Louis. Roberge has relieved Hesketh for Montreal, and Andujar, trailing in that game, going for his 20th win, is behind by a run. The Phillies are leading the Cubs 5-1 after 7 now. We begin the Yankee 8th inning. Ken Griffey up 1 for 3. Yankees are leading 4-2. Bob Stanley on the mound. Jackie playing just right there, and boy, Griffey quick down that line. Strong throw had to be made to get him. 1 out.
Jackie almost gets laid back just a little bit too much, and then this ball catches in between. He can't do anything about it, and he has to come on and really unloads it. Has to unload it kind of hard too. Griffey motoring down that line. Very close play at first.
Well, Billy Samples scheduled to be up, but we're going to have Dan Pasqua batting for him, the guy who was in the lineup originally. But Sample has certainly made his contribution today. At the plate, he just walked, but he also had an RBI, and he saved a couple of runs with a catch and a throw. And he leaves the game in favor of Dan Pasqua, the rookie, who will stay in left field in the 9th inning. Pasqua hitting .221 with 4 homers and 10 RBIs, but with Columbus in AAA, he was hitting .321 and a lot of production. Bob Stanley into his first full inning of relief. He's retired everybody's face. Two batters in the 7th with a runner at second base. He got Winfield and Baylor, and he got Griffey just now. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul, strike 1. Philadelphia 5, Chicago 1 after 7. Foley, Schmidt, and Samuel have homered for Philadelphia. Sandberg for Chicago. Charlie Hudson leading in that one. Gumpert relieved Buller in the 6th for Chicago. A ball. George Bell and Willie Upshaw have homered for Toronto in their lead. Their 10-6 lead in the 9th inning now at Toronto. There's strike 2. McRae, who was ejected later in the game, had a homer in the early in the game, in the 4th, then was ejected. Balboni had one also, that game in the 9th inning. Toronto leading, trying to hold on to their 5-game lead. A ball. Texas at Baltimore went 3 innings. The Orioles had a 6-0 lead, but it was rained out. It had a long rain delay. They finally called it, so it's no game. Strike 3 on Pasqua. Bob Stanley picks up his first strikeout. 2 gone in the Yankee 8th. And we will have Pagliarulo coming up. He came on to play in an inning ago, replacing Robertson. Getting his first turn at the plate. Pag hitting .237. Down it goes to Buckner. Over to Stanley, and Rob Stanley has a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the 9th with the Red Sox trailing 4-2. Trail 4-2 in this closely played game, but big Yankee plays made in the field and a big clutch double by Mattingly at the plate, and that's been it. Red Sox unable to get anything going offensively except for Rice's home run and one other run knocked in by Boggs, but on that same play a runner thrown out at the plate by Billy Sample. Dan Pasqua stays in the game playing left field as he batted for Sample. There is Pasqua, who just came into the game to pinch hit, struck out, and he's in left field. Seattle leads Minnesota 3-0 after 6 at Minnesota. Steve Howe has relieved Frank Viola. Langston pitching for the Mariners. White Sox picked up 3 runs in the 6th inning to tie up Milwaukee 3-3. Cecil Cooper has a homer for the Brewers. Burns against Vukovic. And Oakland getting underway at California. No score. Tommy John against Ron Romanic. Detroit leading Cleveland 3-0 in the 3rd. After 3 at Detroit, a game that was held up by 2 hours by rain. It's Simmons, Lemon, and Castillo have all homered for the Tigers. So here we go to the 9th inning, and it'll be Gedman, Gutierrez, and Lyons scheduled up against Dave Righetti. Strike 1. Gedman has flied to left and walked twice. One ball, one strike. Rich fouling it off, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Hits the high fly ball to right center field. Griffey calling. Winfield's there, and Griffey has it. So Gedman is out. 1 away in the Red Sox 9th. Jackie Gutierrez will be up.
Big, long, gangly legs could have made the play, but Griffey says, I'll take charge and handle it, and he does. So Winfield just slides himself right on back over there to the right.
I want to remind you that because TV 38 will broadcast the game on Wednesday night between the Red Sox and Rangers, the movie Washington Behind Closed Doors Part 3 will not be seen on that night. Part 3 will now air on Thursday night, with the remaining segments on each inclusive night through Sunday, all at 8 o'clock. 1 ball, no strikes to Gutierrez. Jackie 0 for 2. Strike 1. Grounded out, sacrifice, and then fouled out trying to sacrifice. There's strike 2. Tony Armas has come out on deck to bat for Lyons. There's Tony. Tony on deck will bat after Gutierrez. Crowd wants a punch out right here. 1-2 to Gutierrez. Curve hangs high. Ball 2. 2-2. And Jackie lines one to center, and Griffey's right there. Hit it hard, but right at the center fielder. 2 outs.
Attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, batting for Lions, number 20, Tony Armas.
Righetti, with 1 out to go for his 23rd save, will face Tony Armas, the pinch hitter. Waiting for Winfield to get squared away and right as some more stuff is thrown out into the field. Tony Armas up, pinch hitting for Lions. 2 out. Ball 1. Armas hitting .230, 16 home runs, 36 runs driven in. And actually the second half of the season we just about been lost to him. Or the middle third anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike. Because of the very strange injury to his calf. It never did get well entirely. For a long time. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul ball. The count hangs that way. 1-2 to Armas. Yankees have 5 hits for their 4 runs, and the Red Sox 6 hits for their 2 runs. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. And there's a base hit scorched past Righetti into center. Armas with a pinch single with 2 out. The second Red Sox hit off Dave Righetti, and their 7th in the game.
Boy, Tony just really got right down there and you line that BB that ball into center field. He made no uncertain terms about it, and then Righetti makes a little bit of a mistake when he's up in the count. A ball and 2 strikes to Tony. A little bit too good a pitch to hit.
Running for Armas.
There's Eddie Urak running for Tony Armas. Urak running for Armas. Marty Barrett is up. Barrett 1 for 4. And was on Barrett that Billy Sample, then in left field, committed the thievery. Ball looked like it was going to be a sure single. Sample made a dive to catch it. Marty pumps it foul.
That shot by Armas right back up the middle. Whew, Righetti says, wow, that ball hit a little bit too hard for my liking.
It's 1 strike to Barrett.
Hey, those guys show me a lot of nerve a lot of times. Pitchers, they face those big hitters like that. They're so very strong. You make a little bit of a mistake, get that ball a little bit out over the plate. That's just about where they can get to Righetti because of his velocity. Is right back up the middle. They can hurt you. It hurts you bad.
Barrett fouls it off. The count is 0-2. They used to say, of course, in the afternoon games when people had white shirts behind home plate. Those afternoon games in the 30s and 40s, it was really hard to pick up a ball coming off a bat right at you out of that background.
I'm a firm believer that pitcher doesn't have enough time to get out of the way anyway. If that ball's hit hard enough, it's going to bite him if it's in line with him. Once in a while, they'll be able to throw the glove up, maybe knock it away from him, but it's awfully, awfully tough. They just don't have a lot of time to do that.
0-2 to Barrett. Sends it back to the screen and stays alive with an 0-2 count.
maybe it doesn't hurt as bad when you don't see it coming, I guess. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't know either. But
I've seen some guys take some really, really hard shots and wonder how they could even get up to make the play on them, but most of the times they do, unless the ball really caroms way off somewhere.
The count on Barrett is 0-2. 2 outs, 9th inning. Red Sox trailing by 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first base is Eddie Urak. Pinch running for the pinch hitter, Tony Armas, who singled. His games have been played closely and have been down to this 9th inning situation each time, where a team at least has a shot. Barrett fouling another pitch, this time a breaking ball. Spaghetti working to just eliminate the Red Sox right now. Gave up a 2-out single to Armas, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes to Barrett. Missing high. 2-2. Barrett, a tough guy to strike out anyway, will work you at the plate. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs. And Marty will back out as scout. Make sure he gets himself set. A ball. Woo. At that time, plate umpire Denkinger almost pulling in the opposite, or just about the same as Drew Coble did the other night. And there, Martin is now on Denkinger.
Spaghetti thought he had it. Yes, sir, he says. Oh, you got to make one more at least, Dave.
Pag was jumping up at third base. 3-2. Hammered foul by Barrett, who's giving a tough at bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 1 on. Barrett, of course, representing the tying run. Come on, Billy, let's go. You're only 5 out. Ball 4. He walks Barrett. And the tying runs at first. Marty Barrett with a really good at bat that time. Becomes a base runner. And Boggs is up. Urak running for Boggs is at second. Well, the Red Sox don't fold easily. Martin is really giving it what for, as you can see, to Don Denkinger, the crew chief of this outfit. So here is Boggs, who is 1 for 4. He singled home a run in the 7th. Ball 1. With 2 out, runners at second and third, he singled home a run, and then Gedman tried to score from second and was thrown out by Billy Sample. Try to tie him up. The ball gets behind Weiniger, but no advance. See what they called it. It's a ball, and Billy Martin is coming to the mound. just to settle down Righetti, certainly, and maybe force Denkinger to come out and give him an earful. Count is 2-0 to Boggs. 4-2 Yankees lead. Billy just says, come on, throw strikes, get him out. It's a final. The Toronto Blue Jays have won their game 10-6. So the Yankees must win today to stay 5 back. They are leading right now. Boggs takes a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to Boggs. His average right now is .354 with his 1 for 4 so far. He is 2 for 13 in the series. Inside high, ball 3. 3-1. The on-deck hitter is Evans. There's Dwight. A walk to Boggs loads up the bases. So Righetti, after getting the first 2 out, has given up a single and 2 walks. And now the tying run's in scoring position. And that's going to be all for Dave Righetti. Martin coming to the mound. Brian Fisher's in the bullpen. The hard-throwing right-hander who just buzzed it by people yesterday in relief. Dwight Evans will be the batter as the Red Sox put on the pressure in the 9th inning. They trail by 2. Righetti leaves the game after pitching an inning and 2/3, not being able to pick up his 23rd save. He gives up 2 hits. He strikes out 2. He walks 2, and he's responsible for 3 runners. Billy Martin waiting around on the mound for his new pitcher, the fella he hopes to be the next Gossage next year, and the fella he hopes that will make a starter out of Righetti one more time. Coming in on the automobile, Brian Fisher.
Well, certainly Billy did like to see what he saw from Righetti this afternoon. I think he'd be a little more content, maybe, or even thinking about leaving him in the ball game had it been the trouble he got into by means of base hits. I think what he was seeing with the base on balls is certainly not a likable situation, not a comfortable one for him, and he probably did not want to have to use Fisher again this afternoon. Fisher just went 2 1/3 innings yesterday in that Yankee win, giving up a hit there in the 2 1/3 innings, and that was it. He struck out a couple of Red Sox batters and picked up his 6th save. So the hard-throwing sinker and slider baller will be coming on now to make his 2nd appearance in as many days. This will be his 40th appearance all year. A record of 4 wins and 3 losses and a 2.45 earned run average. He's stingy. He's given up but 57 hits and 69 2/3 innings of work. He has walked 24 in those 69 innings, but he has struck out 54, and he's given up 3 home runs. So he'll be sitting right on the hot seat right now, though, as he faces Evans with the tying run for the Red Sox at second base.
Armas is up, and they had the count 1-2 on him, too, before wrapping a hard single past Righetti into center field to start this. Then the walk to Barrett after a lot of foul balls and a tough at bat for Marty. And then an easy walk to Boggs. Got only 1 strike over on Wade Boggs, and that forced his withdrawal and brings on Brian Fisher. Base is full of Red Sox in the 9th inning. They trail by 2 runs. Their problem, as usual, lately offensively, have been wasted chances, because in the last 4 innings before this one, they had stranded 6 runners. 6 of the 7 runners left in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And now they have the bases loaded, and they would dearly like to unload them right now somehow, or at least take some of the load off the bases by getting a base hit and tying this game up, or if extra bases going ahead. Dwight Evans this afternoon has flied deep to center, grounded to third, looped a single to center, and struck out. strikeout came against Righetti. So Brian Fisher on for the second time in 2 days. And we're ready to go. 3 on, 2 out. Strike 1 to Evans. Fisher is 2-1 and 2 saves in his last 7 games. 2 wins and 2 saves. High to Evans. It is 1 ball, 1 strike to Dwight. In the dirt, blocked by Weiniger. Boy, you let the ball get behind you with runners on in this ballpark. You got 1 run scoring, and if you got somebody fast at second, 2 could.
You're not kidding. You have to be very aware of that. Of course, Weiniger, one of the better catchers in this league as far as blocking balls are concerned. Right there, he showed you. Not trying to catch it. He just lets that ball bounce in and hit off that chest protector. Keeps it right in front of him.
2-1. He went around on it. It's a strike. Not ducking away. He committed.
Had him right in a tough spot. Evans tried to hold up the swing. Looked like the ball could have been a little bit too high.
2-2. He pops it up into shallow right field. Winfield coming on, and he makes the catch. Willie Randolph right there. But it wasn't easy for the Yankees. However, they did it again. And they have now taken 6 in a row from the Red Sox and have assured themselves of the season series no matter what happens tomorrow. Red Sox give it a shot in the 9th, but they do not score. They have 1 hit and they leave 3. Final score, the Yankees 4, the Red Sox 2. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
Lineup today, and that would be Johnny Ray, especially with Tony Pena, the catcher, sitting out a day game after an 11-inning night game. Let's run them down. Joe Orsulak hitting .288 in his rookie year, the center fielder. R.J. Reynolds, one of the Dodgers, over to pitch left field. Johnny Ray, the steady second baseman.